Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Monday, April 20th, and today is AMI Day 20. So we'll go ahead and get started with our announcements for today. So our first announcement is that we will be having a Zoom meeting today at 3:30 to continue our read aloud of the Graveyard Book. So if you'd like to join us for that, I'll post the link to our Zoom meeting on Google Classroom, Class Dojo, and I'll post it on Remind. So you'll just click that link and follow it and join us for our Zoom meeting today at 3:30 for our read aloud of the Graveyard Book. And now I'm also offering tutoring times from 11:30 to 3 each day, Monday through Friday. And you can sign up for those. I posted the link for signups on Class Dojo and on Remind. So all you have to do is follow that Google link. It'll take you to a Google Sheet, and you just put your name on whatever time that you want. It's to sign up for a 30-minute tutoring spot. If you need extra time than that, then we can set that up, but that is how you sign up. You follow that Google Sheets link, write your name under a time and day. So if you want Monday at 1:30, you'll find the Monday column and the 1:30 row and just put your name there. If you need access to it, you can request access, and it sends me an email, and I just grant you access, and then you can put your name on there. So that's how you can sign up for tutoring this week. It's just an option for you to get some extra help with anything that you need help with, or just to have some extra time to maybe talk over math or reading or writing. So it's just some extra help for you during this AMI time. So that's an option for you to choose. Just write your name on a day and a time. And I will send you a Zoom link for whatever day and time that you choose. So we'll go ahead and get started with your AMI work for today. Your AMI does look a little different this week. They have set it up to where Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So your work for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will always be reading, writing, and social studies. So starting this week, your work for today, so today is Monday, so the only work you have to do today is reading, writing, and social studies. So you'll choose an option for reading, you'll choose an option for writing, and you'll choose an option for social studies. And then you'll always have your specialty activities. So you'll choose either PE, art, or music. And then, so that's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You do reading, writing, social studies, and you pick a specialty activity. So every Monday, you're only doing your 4 subjects. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're doing those 4 subjects. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're doing math, science, and a specialty activity. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're only doing those 3 things, math, science, and social studies. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you have those 4 things: reading, writing, social studies, and a specialty activity. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you have math, science, and a specialty activity. So that's how it looks a little different this week. It's just breaking up your work throughout the week, so you're not doing every subject every day, and it's adding in some social studies on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So today's work will just be reading, writing, and social studies, and then you'll choose a specialty activity to do. So we'll go ahead and get started with your reading today. So for your reading options, you have 4 choices. Option 1. Let's see, reading option 1, read a book of your choice for 20 minutes. So this time you're only going to read for 20 minutes, so choose a book of your choice, read for 20 minutes, record the title, the number of pages that you read, and then write a summary of what you read today. And let's see, and then explain to an adult what you read today, use specific details from the text in your retelling. So talk to somebody in your home about what you read and use those specific details from the story. So that is if you choose to do option 1 for reading today. Option 2 for reading is to log on to iStation Reading and work for 20 minutes. So instead of doing 30 minutes this week, they've switched everything to 20 minutes. So you'll log on to iStation Reading and work for 20 minutes. So you can either do iStation Reading, Freckle ELA, Spelling City, anything like that. iStation Reading, Freckle ELA, or Spelling City. Just choose one of those online programs to do and do it for 20 minutes. Or you could choose to do option 3, which is to read the attached passage and answer the question. So let's go ahead and look at that passage together. Let me share my screen. Here we go. And share. Okay, and I'll scroll down. So this is option 3. If you choose to do option 3 for reading, you're going to go to this reading passage right here. So this is a reading passage called The Cloud, and it's a folk tale. So you're going to read this folk tale called The Cloud, and then it gives you some questions to answer. So right here is your first question. It says, what is a lesson people can learn from this story? So you're going to read this folktale called The Cloud. And what is a lesson that they can learn from this story? And then also under here, underneath where you'd write, all right, so here on the lines, you'd write the lesson that they can learn from this story. And then it says, underline the parts of the story that show that is the lesson you can learn. So you're going to write what you think the lesson you can learn is on the lines, and then you're going to underline the part of the story that makes you think that. So what part of this story made you think that that was the lesson you could learn? So you're just kind of finding that evidence for your answer. So your answer is going to be what you think the lesson you can learn is, and then you're going to kind of underline the evidence in the story that tells you that. So you're finding the evidence in the story and you're underlining it. Let's see if they give you any more questions. And that's the only questions you have to do for this story. Oops. So you just read the story, write what you think the lesson of the story is, and underline the evidence from the story. Okay, and so that's the only, it's just that one question, and you underline the evidence for your answer in the story. So you read The Cloud, a Folktale, and that is option 3 if you choose to do option 3 of reading. Or you have option 4, which is to go to this PBS link right here. You'll just type that into your browser up here, or if you're looking at your AMI packet online, you just click this blue link here. It'll take you to the PBS site, and it'll take you to the English Language Arts and Literacy section. As always, you filter by 5 for 5th grade, choose any of those videos to watch, and then just do whatever the video asks you to do. So that's option 4, is to go to that PBS link and choose a video to watch. And then you move on to your writing for today. So we'll look at writing together, and I'll just keep showing it to you. So it might be easier for you to see what you're doing when I actually show you the screen. So writing for today, this part right here that says W54, that is just your reading standard. That is something that us teachers look at so that we know what to teach you. That's one of your writing standards that you have to learn for 5th grade. So for writing, you have 3 options to choose from. You're going to choose one of those options and circle which one you choose. So for option 1, you're going to write an entry in your journal. So if you started that coronavirus pandemic journal, you're just going to write an entry in your journal. At the top, you'll put Monday, April 20th, 2020, and you'll write about what your life is like today. What are your plans for today? Just write what's going on in your life today in that journal entry. Or you can choose to do option 2. So for option 2, they give you a little writing prompt. It says, pretend you had $100, but you weren't allowed to keep it for yourself. You have to give it away to a charity or a person. Who would you give the money to? What would you want the person to do with it? Now write an essay or story about having $100 to use on someone else. So you're either going to write an essay or a story. You can make up a story about it. So you can write a creative story or an essay about what would happen if you had $100. And you can't keep this $100. You have to either give it to a charity or give it to a person. So what charity would you give it to? What person would you give it to? And how would you want them to use that money? So if you gave it to a charity, how would you want the charity to use the money? And how would the charity use that money to help somebody? Or if you gave it to a person, what would you want the person to do with that money? And maybe how would the money help that person? So just think of all those things and write either an essay or a story. And this is something, if you choose to do option 2, instead of handwriting it, you can type it on Google Docs and share it with me. You'll just click that share button up in the corner after you type it on a Google Doc, and you'll share it to my email address, which is megan.mcgee@vbsd.us. So you can always type it on a Google Doc and share it to my email address. So that way you don't have to handwrite that essay if you choose, or that essay or that story if you choose to do option 2. You can type it and you can share it with me. So you can either do option 1, option 2, or you have option 3, which is to go to that PBS link. And once again, that link's going to take you to the English Language Arts and Literacy section of the PBS website. And you just filter to grade 5 and choose any of those videos to watch and do whatever the video asks you to do. So that's what you would do if you choose to do option 3. Then they've decided to add in some social studies. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you're going to be doing some social studies. So once again, it gives you that standard of things that you learned in 5th grade for social studies. And you have 2 options that you can choose from for your social studies work today. So option 1 for social studies is interview at least 2 people. So you're going to ask some questions to at least 2 people. So it says interview at least 2 people about what they understand to be one civic responsibility in our community right now. So a civic responsibility is what they feel they need to do as a person that lives in your town or your city or in this country of the United States. So what do they feel is their responsibility as a person living here in this time? What do they feel is their civic responsibility in our community right now? Design your own interview questions beforehand. So you're going to think of some questions that you can ask your 2 people, because you need to interview 2 people. And so think of those questions that you want to ask those people before you actually interview them. So it gives you some example questions that you could ask. You could ask, what do you think is important for you to be doing during this current quarantine? So that would be a question you ask. What do you think is important to be doing during this quarantine? Is it important that you stay home? Is it important that you stay 6 feet away from people when you're out in public? So ask them about what they think is important to do in this quarantine time. Please explain. Okay, and please explain. So ask them the question and ask them to explain. So if they say that it's important to stay inside, ask them to explain that. Why is it important to stay inside? So when you ask them that question, it's important to get all those details, because you're going to want to write down those details of their answers and what they want you to do. So it says record your questions. So you're going to write down whatever questions you're going to ask and your responses. So when you ask them the question, write down what their answer was to that question. Kind of like when we did that 9/11 interview, when we were talking about the 9/11 terrorist attacks earlier in the year. I gave you that interview paper to take home. You asked your parents or someone who was alive during that time, you asked them those questions, and then you wrote down their answers. This time, you're just making up your own questions, and you're writing down your answers. And you're asking people about what they think is important to be doing during this quarantine. What's important for people to do during this time? And how does that help what's going on? Okay, so write down your questions and responses, and those are what you're going to turn in. So whenever you turn in anything, make sure you write your name on it and my name on it. So you're going to write your name and then Miss McGee, because they need to know your name and your teacher. So when you turn all that in, that way they know to, when they sort the papers, oh, this paper goes to Miss McGee. So when you get ready to turn in your work, make sure you write your name on it and my name on it, Miss McGee. Okay? So that's if you choose to do option 1. If you choose to do option 1, you're going to come up with some questions to ask, and you're going to ask 2 people. Option 2, watch the YouTube video, Kid President, a pep talk from Kid President to you. Write a paragraph about how the advice of the Kid President relates to being a responsible citizen. So then it gives you this YouTube link. So you're just going to follow that YouTube link, and it will take you to the video, Kid President, a pep talk from Kid President to you. So you're going to watch that Kid President video that you'll find at that link right here. And then you're going to write a paragraph about how the advice relates to being a responsible citizen. So how does that advice relate to how you can be a responsible citizen and do what you're supposed to do to contribute to your community, to your town, to where you live? So how does his advice help you be a better citizen and help you contribute to the community that you live in? Okay, so you'll just follow that link, watch that video, and write a paragraph about the advice that Kid President gives you in that video. So that's if you choose to do option 2 for social studies. And then we have your specialty activities that you're going to choose from. You're going to choose from between PE, music, or art. You can choose, you just have to choose one, but you can choose to do all of them if you want to. So for PE today, you're going to, if you choose to do PE, you're going to do 10 donkey kicks, 10 sill jacks, 10 knee bows, 10 mountain climbers, 10 reverse sit-ups, 10 windmills, 10 shoulder taps, 10 pretend jump ropes, 10 line jumps. You can jump you can jump over an object if you don't have a line to jump over, and 360 jumps. So you're gonna, if you choose to do PE, you're gonna do all of those things, get your exercise in, or, and then it says repeat as many times as you want to get hot and sweaty, heart beating fast and breathing fast. So when your heart gets beating fast and you're breathing fast, you're burning more calories and you're using more energy to burn those calories. So repeat as many times as you want. You just repeat those activities there on PE, or you can choose to do music. It's another code breaking activity like you did on Friday. All you do at the top here, it gives you the music notes and it says correctly name each note and then write its alphabet letter name on the blank below. The code is broken when the alphabet letters reveal the secret word. So here it shows you what a C is. So this note right here is a C. This note is a D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you have all these notes and it tells you the corresponding letter for that note. Okay, so on this first one, you'd look at this note right here. What letter does it correspond with? So that one corresponds with an F. Then the next one corresponds with A. So we have F, A. This one is a D. And this one is, that one is an E. F-A-D-E. So that's the word fade. So the first word in your code is fade. And you're going to keep doing that until you break the code and discover what the phrase says. So it's a little bit of fun for music if you choose to do that code breaking. You just look up here for your examples and it tells you each note and the letter that corresponds with it. So you'll just follow along, writing your letters for each note on this line until you break the code and discover what the message says. Or you can choose to do art. So it's day 5 of Mo Willems. So you're still following along with those Mo Willems videos, and it'll show you the art project that you're going to do. So you just follow this link, watch the video, follow along with the art project that they're doing to create some Mo Willems art. Or option 2 for art, draw you and your family participating in an activity together. So you could draw you and your family going fishing, or you could draw you and your family going outside to ride a bike. Or maybe you're drawing you and your family around a campfire and you're making s'mores. So just draw you and your family participating in an activity together. So just draw a picture of you and your family doing something together. So those are your options for your specialty activities today. And that is your AMI work for today. So today is Monday, and the way they've changed it up is that you're only doing reading, writing, social studies, and a specialty activity today. So you have no math and science today. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be when we do math and science. So your AMI work's a little different. You're not doing every subject every day, but they're kind of breaking it apart over the course of the week. So remember that we do have a Zoom meeting today at 3:30 to continue our read aloud of the Graveyard Book, and I have those links up where you can sign up for tutoring times, and I'll be tutoring Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 3, so you can pick a time, a 30-minute time slot, and I can help you out with things if you need a little more help. If you have any questions or need help with anything, just let me know, message me, contact me, and let me know, and I'll help you any way that I can. So just remember, stay healthy, getting tongue-tied. Stay healthy, stay safe, and remember, guys, I love you and I miss you so much. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video helped.